Hello everyone, it's that college football guy here with another video really early in the morning. Actually, not really early. It's about, check the time here real quick. What does it say? It's about 6 o'clock in the morning here, Eastern Standard Time. I'm here in Bethel, Pennsylvania, getting ready to pick up my load, not that far from here, about an hour away, in Albertus, and then head back home for the weekend, but I probably won't get home till Saturday. It's going to be a nice 7-day week. Leave Sunday, back Saturday. But there's something that came up. A great story by Dan Murphy of ESPN. I'm basically, I wrote down the story because we're going to read the story here. I had to write it down because I can't exactly read off my phone and do the story at the same time. But this could be a difference maker. The headline of the story by Dan Murphy of ESPN. Credit goes to him. Great story. If you want to read along with me, pause the video. Head over to ESPN or ESPN.com and look up for the story. Headline of the story is New California Bill Pushes for College Sports Revenue Sharing by Dan Murphy, ESPN staff writer. If you want to pause the video and go over to ESPN or ESPN.com and find the story and then read along with me, this could be something serious, folks. First and foremost, let's get the housekeeping out the way. Everyone, please smash the like button, hit the thumbs up. Helps with the algorithm, helps with the analytics, help the video be seen by more people. Comment on the video. We're going to be doing a lot of comments about this one because this is an in-depth one. It took 4 pages to write this thing down. This is 4 full pages of paper, folks, to write all these notes about the story, to copy it down. It's a lot. But we're doing some commenting about this. And subscribe to the channel. We just crossed 300 subscribers. Let's see if we can get our way to 400. We've got a ways to go. All right, so this is word for word, minus the interjections I'm going to make in my own commentary. And this video is word for word, the exact story. And again, credit goes to Dan Murphy and ESPN. Great story. All right, here we go. Page 1. It's a long one, folks. Buckle up. All right, a California lawmaker introduced a bill Thursday that would reshape how college athletic departments and the state are required to share their earnings with athletes. The proposed legislation, named the College Athletic Protection Act, calls for major money-generating college sports teams, which kind of sounds to me like the Power Five. Maybe they mean all of FBS, maybe. I don't know. To create a fund that would pay players a share of their team's annual revenue, a portion of which would be held in a trust for players to complete their degree. Why does it sound to me like that's a way for certain schools to say, hey, you want to get the rest of this money? You can't stay and get your degree and graduate. So we get all 4 years of eligibility out of you. Or all 6 or whatever they are now. Seems like it goes up every time because of COVID. Hey, you want to go get your money or you want to go to the NFL draft? NFL draft probably is going to pay a little bit more money than whatever the money is. So, but that's neither here nor there. Anyway, the bill also proposes creating a 21-member state-run panel that regulates the ways in which schools are pouring resources into protecting and educating their athletes. Basically telling schools how to spend their money. What do you think about this? Think it's a good idea? Okay, Chris Holden, here we go, the founder of the bill, former San Diego State basketball player and the current chairman of the state legislature's appropriations committee. Got out of basketball, went to politics, and had the appropriations committee. One of the signs where the money goes for committees is proposing this bill. This might have some power, folks. He announced the bill at a news conference in front of the Rose Bowl Stadium on Thursday afternoon. Here's Mr. Holden's quotes. Through the years, college athletes' concerns have been overlooked because they are not in the professional leagues, Holden said in a statement provided to ESPN. If colleges are profiting on their players, then these students deserve equitable pathways for their careers, whether that is in the professional leagues or in California's workforce. Makes sense so far. Page 2. The revenue-sharing portion of the bill seeks to create a, quote, fair market value compensation. No idea what that will be. For athletes To do so, Holden's bill includes a formula, I'm a math guy, I love this, designed to ensure that half of the revenue generated by each college team is dedicated to its athletes, either through grant-in-aid scholarship dollars, which sounds to me like money paid directly to players, or in a revenue-sharing payments. Okay. Not quite sure what all that language means. If you guys have any idea, let me know in the comments. For example, if the San Diego State basketball team generates roughly $6 million in revenue, so I guess that does mean that everybody in FBS, and spends roughly $500,000 on scholarships for its players, the schools would have to set aside $2.5 million at the end of the year, half the total revenue minus the cost of the scholarships. But would that be more than $2.5 million? Because half of that is $6 million is $500,000 for the scholarships. Okay, I guess they're right. Maybe, we'll see what happens. But anyway, this is $2.5 million at the end of the year if the new bill becomes law. Players would be eligible to receive up to $25,000 in annual payments at the end of their season, and any additional money would be held in a trust until they graduate. Yeah, getting players to stay to finish their degree and not leave early. Or transfer out because they wouldn't get that money either. For the profit, that's a guess on my part, but if you transfer out, you wouldn't be able to get the money, would you? So you wouldn't hit the transfer portal. For the most profitable college teams in California, which sounds to me like the Power Five, this formula could lead to hundreds of thousands of dollars paid to players who get their degrees. Well, no kidding. Hundreds of thousands for Power 5 programs, $25,000, 53 people on a football team. That's $1 million, genius. That's my commentary, but 53 people on a college football team, 25 grand a shot, that's $1 million. That's a lot more than hundreds of thousands. But that's just me. The bill also allows to reallocate funds, if necessary, to make sure they are not violating Title IX rules that require schools to provide equal benefits to men's and women's teams. Okay. Are we talking about paying everybody, or only the men's and women's teams that actually generate a profit, which basically would eliminate almost all the women's teams at most schools? I don't know how this is going to go. We will see about this one, won't we? An attempt to pass similar language through the California Assembly last year failed, but Holden's position on the Appropriations Committee, along with an increased pressure in several different states to push the NCAA to further change its rules, provide this bill a better chance of coming to a vote, according to National College Players Association, the NCPA, their founder, Ramogi Huma. Oh, it does give him a better shot because of this. Let's see what Huma has to say, because I don't know if Huma is a man or a woman, so I'm just going to say Huma. I do not know if it's a man or a woman. Huma worked with Holden and his staff to craft the bill as part of his work with the NCPA, so it is a man. An advocacy group that has been pushing to reform the NCAA for nearly 2 decades. Whoa. The NCPA also helped push the 2019 California bill that served as a catalyst for NCAA rule changes that now allow athletes to make money from their name, image, and likeness, NIL. Okay, so this is one of the people that was responsible for that being done. Good or bad? At least we know a name behind it, at least. The new bill also contains several provisions aimed at funding for the health and well-being of athletes that the NCPA has tried to get passed by other legislatures at the state and federal levels. These proposed rules would be monitored and enforced by a 21-member college athlete protection panel appointed by state politicians. Hold up. First off, any idea from anyone here what the let me find this here, health and well-being of athletes might actually mean? And let me know down in the comments if you have any ideas, folks. And members of this college protection panel will be appointed by state politicians. My opinion here, my opinion alone, this is not ESPN's, this is just me. Do not have anybody from a hospital or a pharmaceutical company get anywhere near this panel, or some money might end up misappropriated. This is my opinion. I might be wrong, but I have a bad feeling this could be something that could be exploited Now, other items in this bill include, and Dan put in 6 items to be featured, and these 6 are big. 1. Requirements for school to cover medical costs for sports-related injuries and insurance plans. The requirements vary based on how much annual revenue an athletic department generates. To be honest, folks, I didn't know that they didn't cover all the medical costs for student athletes for their sports-related injuries. And I thought they always did. So if you know anything about this, please let me know in the comments, because I didn't know that they didn't do that. Number 2, a subcommittee of the College Athlete Protection Panel, a subcommittee, oh boy, that would establish regulations about when athletes can return to play after an injury, along with other health and safety rules. I'm not sure if I like the idea of a player being eligible to go back into play. Instead of being up to the coaches, trainers, and athletes, it's up to politicians to make that decision. I'm not really comfortable with that one. Let me know in the comments what you think about that. That could be a can of worms. Number 3, another subcommittee to certify agents who work with college athletes on endorsement deals. I love this idea. This could prevent some of the kids from being taken advantage of. So I love this idea. Get some way to control this somehow, and these kids not being fleeced for every dollar they can get. Oh, boy. All right. Number 4. Page 4. Number 4 here. Guaranteed scholarships for 6 years or until the athlete earns their degree, for athletes who remain a full-time student in good academic standing. Does anybody think this was put in there because of what Deion Sanders did, Coach Prime did at Colorado? Maybe, possibly. We'll see. Kind of might have something to do with it, maybe. Number 5, requirements that schools publicly share information about their current compliance with the Title IX law and information about what benefits they provide to their athletes, designed to increase transparency for prospects in the recruiting process. They pull back the curtain and allow for more transparency about all of this. I love that idea. And this one, I like this one because of what happened in the past because of COVID. A prohibition, meaning you're not allowed, prevents any school from cutting one of its varsity sports if the athletic director of the school makes more than $500,000 a year. No more cutting a program in order to put more money into another one. Balance your money better. No more excessive spending. I love this idea. Another quote here from Mr. Huma. The NCAA's formal position is that the NCAA's formal position is that it has no duty to protect or educate college athletes. Man, you just spitting out shade before the press. What the heck? Huma said, I've already read this. Huma said in a statement before Thursday's press conference. So he's spitting shade before the press conference even got started. Just throwing out fireballs. Woo. This bill would protect athletes' physical well-being and ensure they are treated equitably in the business and educational aspects of college sports. Yeah, I can agree with that. That would if this thing passes. The bill specifically says that payments to athletes should not be used as evidence that the athletes are employees of their schools. I was wondering if they were going to address this. In the most recent push to further change the business of college sports, the NCAA and its members have drawn a hard line at allowing athletes to be considered employees. There are several ongoing legal efforts to gain employee status for college athletes, but this bill is not intended to be part of that push. Once again, credit goes to Dan Murphy of ESPN, and I said if you want to read the article, it's at ESPN or ESPN app, ESPN.com. It's a great read. Please read it. Wow. Legislation in depth that could explain what's going to happen, potentially, at least in California. Could this possibly be a trend nationwide if and only if this gets passed? Well, I'm still trying to process this, and I'm going to be rereading this a few times. But let me know down in the comments what you think about this. You think this might work? Let me know. So, I got to finish getting ready here and get on the road, because I got to go pick up this load and then head back to Tennessee, which I won't get back till Saturday because it's about a 12-hour drive from where I'm at. I got about, actually, to where I got to go to pick up the load, and drive it back to where I got to drop it, let alone getting home to my home terminal, is almost 14 hours. You're only allowed to drive 11 in a day, so guaranteed I'm not getting home till Saturday. So, thanks everybody for watching the video. Hope everybody has a great Friday. Take some time to read the article at ESPN. It's a good read. And thanks everybody for watching the video. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks everybody, and please be good to each other.